Okay, so I think the biggest thing that I want to get across to you guys is how this is different than other things you've tried and why this is successful for people. And it's why it's changed my life, because I used to live off of every 2 to 3 hours eating high protein, veggies, very low fat, and then carbohydrates that in my head were really good for my body. And of course you can get results when you're on a low fat diet, but it's just not sustainable. And what happens is either one, you get some issues long term because you are so low fat. So whether that's hormone issues or brain memory issues, whatever it is, if we're low fat for a long time, it's going to play into our longevity. And that's a big thing, is that I want to feel good while I'm also seeing results. And I just felt like crap. I was hangry. I was just always waiting for the time that I could eat again, and I never was satisfied. And then it's also just not very sustainable. So you do really well for a week and then you just fall off the wagon because your body is so deprived, whether you're under eating or you just don't eat enough fat. So with this diet, it's a high fat diet. And I want to kind of explain why that works and how it works, because it's really cool when you learn about it. So the first thing is just breaking down simply macros. We have protein, we have carbs, and we have fats. Look, can you see that okay? My white markers kind of died, so I'll just talk through it. So protein and carbs, as much as we need them and as much as I love them, they're very short fueled. And so what that means is you're more likely to have it, your blood sugar will go up, and then after about 2 or 3 hours, it comes back down. And so that means our blood sugar goes back down, and that's when we feel like, I need food now. I'm getting shaky. I have a headache. I feel like I'm going to kill somebody. If someone's called you like hangry, or all these memes about I feel better after I eat, this is what's happening. We have that short burst of energy and then it crashes because it just doesn't last, which is why you have to eat every 2 or 3 hours. But the cool thing about fat is it doesn't have these ups or downs. It does not demand a hormone called insulin to do this. It basically is now this. And so when you use mostly fat at your meals, or if you eat a higher fat diet, whether that's keto or just adding more good fats at every single meal of a different variety, saturated fat, mono unsaturated, and polyunsaturated, then you're going to stabilize what I call blood sugar. So instead of up and down hangriness, you're now having this kind of even response and even energy throughout the day. And it's incredible because that means you don't have to eat as much, and you're going to use basically your meals 2 to 3 meals a day. And that's what people are going to do on this challenge. And I can't wait for you to feel the benefits, even though you might not feel it right now, because you maybe have cut a little bit of the carbohydrate and you're feeling very poo. I promise you, it will be worth it. And I want to kind of explain the meals. If you have your first meal is breakfast, just high fat, high protein. That's kind of the go-to. Unless you're doing high intensity exercise, high fat, high protein, add some carbohydrates if you're doing, so first F, protein, and then add the carbs if you're exercising enough. Your second meal, same thing. Really, actually, the only difference I was going to say is that with dinner, people do a little bit better with more carb because it's at night. If you are going to skip breakfast, this is where we do intermittent fasting. So this is going to now be just bulletproof coffee, butter coffee, an egg in your coffee like the meal plan has. That's also an option. So when I say 2 to 3 meals, it's usually if you do breakfast or if you don't. And I promise the adjustment to this is tough, but it's amazing. If you're having a hard time adjusting, branched chain amino acids are really good to sip throughout the day. I have a really good brand that I like on the recommended link from Thorne Research that's really good. Also drinking, of course, enough water, adding salt to your water, getting enough minerals, taking magnesium at night can all help with your adjustment of cutting sugar and cutting excess carbohydrates so that we can now become a fat burner, which is the whole point of this high fat diet, is that you can lose weight, you can access your own fat for fuel instead of accessing protein, carbs, and becoming deficient and also suffering through because you don't have any fat in your diet. I hope this explains why high fat diets are amazing, and stick with it and you're going to feel the benefits. Better memory, better thinking, better energy. It awaits. I can't wait. for you to experience it. All right, see you tomorrow.